Well, our next speaker, let's roll back the clock. It's 2010. There's this real estate company called EXP, 3 letters. One more than all the other ones because it's one more better. And he decides, sees the plan from Glenn, and he goes, you know what? I think this might work. Becomes the broker of record for Massachusetts. Goes on to become the CEO of EXP Realty Worldwide. Now he's on the board of directors for EXP World Holdings, which one of the holdings is the real estate, then Success Mortgage, then Title, and all the other companies which you own. Give yourselves a hand for being stock, not in EXP Realty, but in EXP World Holdings. See, one team, one dream, really a rising tide rises all ships. And the next speaker you're about to hear is humble, a great guy. I'm proud to call him my friend. I've known him for over 4 years now. Solid, love him. Help me welcome to the stage our CEO, Mr. Jason Gesing, everybody. Woo!
Thank you very much. You know, where's Gene? Gene has impressed upon me for years, and no event could put this into better display than this one. How much, you know, our agents and our growth people and our you know, are really going out and investing. They're investing time, they're investing money to grow the company. And I just want to say, you know, we've known this for a while, but you look at this audience and you look at the setup here and you look at who's coming in and you look at the energy. And I just want to say thank you, both to Brent, to James, to Rob, but also to every single one of you who are making the calls, who are having the meetings, who are doing the lunch and learns. You're representing the company phenomenally well. So thank you very, very much. So last night I was trying to figure out, you know, what I was going to say up here, and I was thinking about the summer and all of the things that have happened. You know, there's been a lot that's happened lately, and I was watching Channel 51. Brent and James were on Channel 51. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but you know, there's something different, it seems, with EXP now. You know, for the first time, I've got people that I'm meeting, and I've got EXP intersecting with my life, parts of my life that have nothing to do with EXP. And I'll just give you a couple examples. So Tom Trong is here in the front row. So Tom and Mike Quayle. Lisa Parento, who I think is here. A bunch of people put together an event on Cape Cod, Massachusetts a couple weeks ago. Who's that, Lisa? All right. And if you've been to Cape Cod, you know it's not the easiest place to get to. And so I went into the event, and I didn't really expect a whole lot, but somehow this group had put together 130 people to come to Cape Cod. I mean, it's about as difficult to get to as Bellingham, Washington. Have you ever been to Bellingham, Washington? You know how hard that is. So. But what was weird, that of the 130, one of them was the next door neighbor of my very best friend as a child. And we had not been in touch for a while, and you know, we've since been reconnected. Another one was the best friend of this guy that used to play third base on this baseball team that I coached for many years. Right, so just like at the same event. And then a week and a half later, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I are at a party, and it's a neighborhood party. And we're the new kids on the block. You know, we don't really know anybody, so we're meeting people for the first time. And we sit down to eat. You know, the guy who hosted the party shucked like 100 lobsters. I mean, it was a great party. And we're sitting down, and this woman comes over, and she says, "Can I sit here?" And I say, "Oh, of course." And, you know, I introduce myself. I get her name. Her name's Janice. And one thing leads to another. And I say, "Janice, you know, what do you do for a living?" And she says, "I'm a real estate agent." And so I have this question that I've been asking for 12 years, right, when somebody tells me they're a real estate agent. And increasingly over the last 3 or 4 years, I've been asking it an awful lot. And every single time I ask the question, I get the same answer. And I'm so stinking tired of getting this answer, but it doesn't seem to change. So I say, "Janice, have you heard of a company called EXP?" And sure enough, she gives me the answer. She says, "Do you know Rick Jiha?" It's every single time without fail. And so at first I say no, because, you know, I just didn't really want to get into the conversation. She could tell, though. She could tell that I knew him. And so we went on and on about Rick. Next thing I know, we're on the phone with Rick in California, And so, it just sort of happens like this. And this is a new thing. I mean, it's really a new thing. And there's so many people in this audience that know that. There was a period of time where, nobody would recognize what we're doing. So, a couple of weeks ago, we were reflecting on the second quarter results. There were a few of us, great people. We were all sort of talking about it. And, the first step to 1 million agents is 100,000 agents. And at the beginning of the year, we had set a stretch goal. We said, we're going to go for 100,000 agents. We knew it was going to be tough. I mean, we knew it was going to be damn near impossible to get to 100,000 agents when we started the year, but nonetheless, we wanted to reach for it. And so we're going over the second quarter results. We see we're at 60,000 agents. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, this is great. We're having a great year. Maybe we can do it. And I asked the question. I said, can we get to 100,000 agents by the end of the year? And the people in the group, the consensus effectively was no. No, can't do it. And these are people that want it to happen. I mean, these are great, great people, smart people. But the consensus was that we can't get there. Now, I've got a whole bunch of reasons why I think we can. I'll share a couple of them with you. The first is EXP commercial. And I don't know if Jim Wong is in the room or not, but if you haven't learned the commercial model, you owe it to yourself to understand the commercial model. If you think that there's a big difference between what agents can make on the residential side at EXP and what they're making everywhere else, it's even greater in commercial. I mean, the difference between what we pay commercial agents and what commercial agents can make elsewhere it's night and day. It's a no-brainer. So familiarize yourself with the model, not just for the economics, but because of the tools too. So we've got Reonomy, we've got Build Out, and we've got this new product called EXP Enriched Data. And EXP Enriched Data basically allows our commercial agents to do evaluation on any property in the United States within less than 30 minutes. And in addition, it's got rent roll information, it's got tenant information, it's got lien information, everything you could want to know about a property. And the beautiful thing is we're going to make it available to the residential agents for a small fee too, beginning next week. But the question is, who here knows a commercial agent not with EXP who would probably like to a little more money than they're making right now? I see at least one or two hands. It's so blinding. Talk to them. Tell them what we're doing at EXP Commercial. In fact, there's an event this Friday that Jim's hosting here in Dallas. Send them. Come along, learn about the model. Second reason I would say is relocation. About 6 months ago, we very, very quietly started a relocation division within the company. You may not even know that. I was talking to Curtis Johnson. He wasn't aware. And not knowing how it's going to go, right? So last week I had to give my OKRs. And I figured, what the hell? I'm just going to tell people what relocation is doing. And I have no idea. I don't have a clue, right? It could fall like a lead balloon, or people could get really excited. So they ended up being really excited. So I'll share it with you. In 6 months since we started the program, we've had 62 million pending. We've had another 63 million close. We've had 600 referral opportunities. And here's the important thing. We haven't even asked for the business yet, right? So the question is, if you know an agent who's in relocation, or do you know an agent who's in relocation, or do you know somebody who wants to get into relocation, but they think it's too expensive, the firm that they're at now charges them too much? If the answer is yes, tell them what we're doing in relocation, because once we start asking for the business, it's just going to keep going up, up, up. Third reason, I would say, Showcase IDX. Glenn has long had this vision for a consumer portal and an agent website that really, introduces a whole new experience to search. He really thinks we can compete in a big way. And we acquired Showcase IDX last year, as everybody knows. And right now, they're in the process of building their WordPress IDX platform so that we can have what we hope will be millions of monthly users on exprealty.com, right? They're building out a new agent and broker directory that should be ready by the end of the year. So the question is, if you know an agent who's not getting leads, or who's paying too much for leads, or who wishes that their brokerage had a better digital presence, or that had a greater search capability corporately, tell them what we're doing. Tell them what we're doing with Showcase. And then the fourth reason I'll give you is EXP Healthcare. And I want all of you, so many of you know about this. Beth Silverman's here. EXP Healthcare, we right now have thousands of agents who have enrolled in EXP Agent Healthcare. And they're saving on average $8,000 a month that they're able to invest in their business, but it's the peace of mind that they get as a result, because the truth is, if you're worried about your health, you can't focus on your business. So the question is, if you know an agent who's not with EXP and they don't have access to health care, or they feel like they're paying too much for their health care, or they're not getting the care that they want, tell them what we're doing. Tell them to go to expagenthealthcare.com. So there's a whole bunch of other reasons why I think we can get to 100,000 by year end, but nonetheless, the consensus remains, right? Right now, if we look at it, the thinking is that we probably need to find another 15, 20,000 agents somewhere. So basically, they're saying it can't be done. And we've heard this before, right? Agents will never leave their offices and go work inside of a virtual environment to be avatars. Never going to happen, can't be done. Agents will never get so excited about EXPI stock that they'll leave where they are and buy into this idea of agent ownership and join another company. Can't be done. And they said, you can't expand globally in the middle of a pandemic. Can't be done. 17 countries later, Michael Valdez. So they're saying it can't be done. And maybe it can't be, but if I know anything, I know that if there were 6,137 people that I would want working on this to get to 100,000, and I guess, James, that's my guess, 6,137, this is the room that I would want doing it. These are the people that I would want doing it. And we may not get there, but I also know that we're not going to say we can't do it until we try. So we believe in you. We believe in everything you've done. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. Let's get 100,000. Let's get it by the end of the year if we can do it. And thank you, James. Thank you, Rob. Thank you all very much.
First and foremost, the savings blew my mind. I've had a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan for quite a few number of years. Our premium for my family was going to about $1,500 a month, and our family deductible was going to right around the $19,000 deductible range for the family. I had heard that EXP had started a healthcare plan, so I wound up getting an appointment set up with an advisor. He came back with a quote, and I got to tell you, about fell out of my chair. For a very comparable plan to what we had at Blue Cross, our premium was going to be $740 a month, and our family deductible went down to $6,000. I was like, done. Where do we sign up?
So I'm saving in premium alone $8,400 a year, and then my prescriptions are less each month, and my primary care physician, there's no more copay.
I had my dad, who has an insurance background, my property casualty guy, my financial advisor, my accountant. They know my situation better than I know my situation. They looked at each other and they were like, Drew, this is awesome that EXP has this for its agents.
That's one of the reasons that I wanted to be with EXP. There were some rumblings that they were going to have some health care. So that was an important factor in joining. And then now, because I went through it, I can explain and tell people that, how valuable it is.
Empowering to know that EXP is looking out for the agent's best interest and trying to find the holes that are in the kind of traditional model of real estate and give back to the agents to set them up for success.
It was so much easier than I ever thought it would be. I'm now 10 months into the plan, and I love it. So it's not just about the premium savings. I'm saving on prescriptions. Everything is just super easy. My pharmacy didn't change. Nothing changed. My coverage is incredible. And yet here I am saving thousands. So it's so user-friendly. It's so easy.
This is just like the icing on the cake. It's the best package you've ever seen in your entire history of real estate.
I'm Margo Wickersham. I'm Senior Vice President of Strategic Partnerships at Clearwater Benefits. Typically, 1099 self-employed people don't have access to really good group-level plans, and to be able to deliver that much value is so rewarding. I'm on the Clearwater plan and didn't think I would ever need to use my plan, like we all think. I take care of myself, I eat right, gave up sodas, but a year ago I got a cancer diagnosis. Cancer doesn't run in my family. I wasn't expecting that diagnosis. I mean, really, who is? But some remarkable things happened as a result of my experience that I want to share. First of all, I was able to go to any doctor, any hospital, any cancer center that I wanted to. And when you get a cancer diagnosis, you want to go to the best in the world that you can access. Second, Being able to access second MD was really interesting. A second opinion is very valuable. I didn't know how valuable it was at the time. But what I learned from all of my oncologists is that 70% of cancer diagnoses are wrong, or the prognosis is wrong. 70. That was the case with me. In fact, I went to a good doctor, he was highly regarded, but the pathologist missed something that the MD Anderson doctors saw, which changed completely the treatment regimen. Had we stuck with the original diagnosis, I wouldn't be here today to talk about this story. Not only did I save thousands of dollars, over $15,000 in out-of-pocket expenses, not only was I able to go to the best doctors available, but I also was able to get access to second MD and get the right diagnosis. So when I go out and talk to people about what does it mean if you have access to all the doctors, that's what it means. You want to go to the best doctors you have access to. And with the Clearwater plans, you can. And that can literally mean the difference between life and death. On Tuesday, right as I was checking into a hotel, I found out that I'm cancer-free. It's pretty amazing. It's very personal for me because it literally saved my life.